Hello, and welcome to the Spiritualist Circle of Light. We're going to open with prayer. May God, who in the mystery of his vision and power transforms his white radiance into his many-colored creation, from whom all things come, and into whom they all return, grant us the grace of pure vision. Amen. Well, this is our time of sharing. After all, this is about you. And this is the time to share an exciting part of your week, or a boring part of your week, or a disastrous part, whichever you feel the need to share. It's best to share our lives with each other. It has many benefits to it. Since this is the sharing, and I should be part of the sharing, I will share with you a small event that happened to me earlier in the week. Maybe it was in the middle of the week. Anyway, one of our members has offered to put together a newsletter, for those in the surrounding area, on a physical aspect, not in cyberspace, like we are, but more of a hard copy for those and around us. Because I also serve the First Spiritual Church of Prayer in South Bend, Indiana. And anyway, we got together one evening and started to discuss ideas. And she's telling me, simple stuff, we do all this simple stuff. She used to manage a mobile park, and I guess she put out a newsletter there too. And she said, people like this stuff. They like this small, simple stuff, something they can just glance at. And I said, well, you mean fluff? And she said, well, okay. I said, well, I don't write fluff. She said, well, you should. And, I said, well, I don't know how to do that anymore. So we went on with the conversation, and later on that night, a dream came to me, and in the dream, it was explained to me that I'm only seeing this very small picture here when there's such a much larger one that I should be paying attention to. But I'm not seeing it because I'm focused on this small area here. So I realized that I was only fooling myself. So I did put together a small piece for the newspaper, very brief, very simple piece. So I'm not always as complex or deep as some people would say. So that's my share for this session. If you would like to share an event in your life, feel free to send it to us. You can contact us through our Facebook page. You can also drop us an email. Send it to spiritualistcircleoflight@gmail.com. And we will share it on cyberspace. You don't have to sign it or anything. But it's nice to hear from all of you. Moving forward into the healing portion of our service. If you would like a healing, please feel free to contact us again through our Facebook page, Messenger, or drop us a line via email. Again, spiritualistcircleoflight@gmail.com. I will say a regular prayer, and then I will lead us in our healing prayer affirmation. And while I am doing that, please keep these names in mind: Heather, Jenny, Teresa, Marty, Pete, Paul, Josh, Valerie, Shirley, Brad, Bruce, Cheryl, Jessica, Marie and her husband, Anita, Ernest, Colin, Bobby, Mark, Keegan, Dawn, Cheryl, Judy, John, and David. We call upon thee, Father, Mother Gods. We call upon thy healing power, and we ask that it should emanate forth from thee to bathe us in its healing effects, to restore those who are ill, to bring clarity to those who are confused, to touch those who are in the dark, to bring them light. We ask that thy power of healing emanate and touch those who reside in the streets, who reside in the jails and the nursing homes, the rehabilitation centers, the hospitals, those who reside in fear. Bring them courage. Those who are leaders of men and women, bring them clarity of thought. We ask that this healing power should bathe all of the creatures beneath thee. For we know that, like the man weak and old who was sick and was told, "Take thy bed, rise and walk, you are whole." God will help us today in the same loving way. Faith in God brings us blessings untold. God is healing us now with his infinite power. We can feel Jesus' presence by us. What a wonderful peace that God's love brings to us. We are whole and free. Amen. We are going into the guided meditation portion of our service. If any of you would like a healing, as I said earlier, please contact us through Messenger, through our Facebook page, or drop us an email. During our meditation, we ask that you focus on the sensation of love. We're not asking you to think of love or to focus on love, but to remember what it felt like when you felt love. It is this energy that we wish you to rest in during the meditation. And if you should recall any of those names, or if you know of someone in need of healing, you may reach out to them, think of them, for where the mind goes, so does the healing power. It's not energy, it is power. Every time we reach out to influence someone, we are exerting our power.
Gaze into my eyes. Allow mind to settle. Gaze upon the Buddha. Breathe deeply. Release the tension that dwells within. Look upon me. See Jesus resting upon a rock. Relax. Allow his visage to fill you. Breathe in the essence. Release the breath and see. This is your path. This is the way towards the within. Allow the emotions, movement, allow thoughts to travel. Allow the visions to play themselves out. Allow. This is the vehicle towards the source. This is how to discover essence. Watch as memories reveal themselves. Watch as emotions find their way through you. Discover why. That is the question. Why? Allow the answer to present itself. Learn to become satisfied. Learn to enjoy. Learn with knowledge comes responsibility. With responsibility comes growth. With growth comes wisdom. With wisdom, we awaken. Awaken to the true reality. Awaken to your reality. This is who we are. This is who we have become. This is essence. Rest. Become satisfied. Become immensely satisfied. Make the inside the outside. Allow the outside to become the inside. It is time to awake.
It's time to return. Move your fingers about. Move your toes about. Roll your head on your shoulders. Anything that returns you once more to this plane. There are other guided meditations for you available at our website, birdandsky.com. That's BRDNSKY.com. There are a variety of guided meditations there for you to experience. This is the message portion of our service. If you would like to receive a message, please contact us through our Facebook page, Spiritualist Circle of Light Facebook page, and through our email, which is, again, Spiritualist Circle of Light at gmail.com. We are going to go into the lesson portion of our service. We are continuing our exploration of the Gnostic book, the Secret Book of John, which is focused on spirit, but not in the sense that many of us are familiar with. A lot of us see spirit as being the departed or something that resides within. This is a little different. The Latin word spiritus means breath, and breath takes us to life. We could say that spirit is life, but many of us see life as something different. We see life as well, as being something alive. And in this conversation, in this lesson, life is experience. So we say the life experience, because life is an experience. Life is more than just breathing in and exhaling. Life is more than the plants we see outside, the grass. Life is more than the wildlife around our neighborhoods. Life is more than this facade. Life is an experience. Without experience, there is no life. And that is what we are discussing here. That is what we are exploring. And with that, we'll begin our exploration. We begin with the fount of the Spirit flowed out of the living water of light. And when we look at what fount is, it's described as a source of something desired. And if we approach it from that aspect, then the fount of the Spirit, the desire of the Spirit flowed out of the living water of light. So, Spirit, which unifies as a desire, and that desire is flowing out of it. And what is that desire? That desire is experience. Spirit desires experience. It desires life. And this can only occur here. So, now, what about the living water of light? Let's consider the living water. Living water is not ordinary water. It's not what you get out of the tap. It's not what flows in the streams. While that is water that brings life, it's not the living water. The living waters of life is referenced in many of our myths and many of the occult writings. One of the myths that it is mentioned in is about the Queen of Heaven, or Ishtar's journey into the underworld. Now, we have to keep in mind what caused her to go into the underworld was the death of Tammuz, her lover. And with his demise, with his dissection, she went in search of him. And when she went into the underworld, the earth started to die. A similar story is that you may be more familiar with, deals with Persephone. When Hades took her into the underworld, the earth began to die, and Ceres petitioned Zeus to bring her back. So coming back to Ishtar's stories, while in the underworld she was given the waters of life, which she brought back with her, and upon her arrival, life began to return to the earth. Now we can see these as seasons, as explanations of the seasons. Naturally, when she went into the underworld, we're moving out of fall and into winter. And then when life returns to the earth, well, now we are moving into spring and out of winter. Naturally, we can see that, but there's more to this. There's more to this. But we're not going to go into that. What we're going to come back to is the waters of life. Now, water was not always having the power of life. Before it was given to the water, it belonged to the mollusks, because the mollusks were representations of the female aspect of the mystery of completion. But we have the living water of light, and we know that light is intelligence. And we assume that water is emotion, but we have another viewpoint that we may consider. In Adolf Frank's The Kabbalah, we find this line in it. When all those things, meaning attributes, have been taken away, there is neither attribute, nor image, nor figure. That which remains is like a sea, for the waters of the sea in themselves. For the waters of the sea are in themselves limitless and without form. Light is limitless, and it has no form. So water is another aspect of life. You can see the connection here. Water has no form. Light has no form. Water reflects light, and light penetrates. So this is what brings them together. For us, water typically represents consciousness. Now, I could say we could invoke the Hermetic principle of correspondence, commonly known as above, so below, but this has not happened yet. So we have to consider something else. It understood its own image when it saw in the pure water of light. Again, the pure water of light, which surrounds it, and its thought became operative and revealed itself. Now we've got more information to go with. Water has a unique property. Water provides a reflective service. Light reflects from it. Light penetrates it. Light is intelligence. We ascertained all of this. But because spirit is light, it saw its own image reflected back upon itself as it penetrated the water. So this is where spirit experience, this is where it becomes aware of itself. This is where it happens. And it is surrounded by water, surrounded by the living water. Think of the living water. Where would it surround light? Where would it surround spirit? Where would it surround experience? Now, something to bring to your attention about light. One of the unique things about light is during the 1990s, scientists discovered that plant cells or plants communicate with each other through light emissions. Communication through light emissions. Now, only life communicates with life. Life does not communicate with the dead. Life communicates with life. We'll learn more about this at a later time. But I want you to consider this. There's one place where we, you, we are surrounded by water, where we are a thought, where we are experiencing life, where we begin to experience life. we begin this adventure, we begin this experience of what we call life in the womb with the amniotic fluids, the waters of life. And it is here that we begin to become aware of ourselves. So in the earlier presentations that we just looked at, that we explored, spirit experience was inactive. It did not act on anything. Now we're trying to understand. Now spirit is trying to understand. Now spirit, what is unity, intelligence, is trying to understand, to comprehend itself. So something to consider. If we are, as many claim, spirit having a human experience, shouldn't we be seeking an understanding as to what that may entail? Are we spirits having a human experience, or are we spirit, which is experience? Something to consider. There's no answer to this. Within this realm, there is life, there is movement, and there is initiation. Initiation is a beginning, and this is what is happening. We are moving into the beginning. Spirit has now moved from being inactive, from being nothing, inactive, into the male energy, because it is going to act upon something. And we will learn just what at our next meeting. So be sure to join us Saturday evening at 7 p.m. and we will continue our discussion. This is proving to be very interesting. This is the donation portion of our service. If you find any of this beneficial, please donate to us. Your seeds help us grow, because we take some of the seeds that you give to us and we sprinkle them with others. The seeds that you provide for us support our development of presentations like this, or development of guided meditations, development of coursework, streaming classes. Be sure to check out our page. Well, that's in the announcement. I'm getting ahead of myself. But your donations, your seeds, assist us in growing and developing more for you. You can donate through our website, through our PayPal button. Go to our website, birdandsky.com. That's BRDNSKY. Or drop us something in the mail. The address is available at the website, 1101 North 5th Street, Niles, Michigan, 49120. A brief prayer of thanks. We thank thee, Father, Mother Gods, for the abundance that we have received. And we share this abundance with others, for we know that the seeds that we plant, the seeds that we leave, the fruit of their works will find their way back to us, will find their way back to those who left seeds with us, will bring the fruits to them in a fashion that will benefit them most, and in the timing of when it will benefit them the most. We thank thee in all things. In the name of thy children, God bless. Now, the announcement. See, I was getting ahead of myself. Be sure to check our calendars on our website. Again, birdandsky.com, BRDNSKY. Click on the calendar for a list of events for the month. We have a dream class going on presently at the time of this recording. It is about dreams. We discuss what people think of dreams are. Authors, articles. Bring a dream, we'll interpret it, or contact us through Facebook, or send us an email, spiritualistcircleoflight.com. Send us your dream, we will interpret it and get it back to you. So as I said, there are other things going on. I also serve at the First Spiritual Church of Prayer in South Bend, Indiana. You can find them at the website on our calendar page. They are listed on the events on the calendar. So we thank you for joining us. I hope this was beneficial. We will close our service with prayer. With collected minds, we are at the command of the divine, that we may obtain blessedness. Amen, and God bless. The opening and closing prayers are from the Svetasvatara Upanishad. Thank you, and God bless to you.